Hello and welcome to No Outside Food Allowed, episode 40. We're here to bring you all the entertainment news you crave. This week we have our scary movie review for The Exorcist, our favorite vampires in film, and our Halloween movie bracket. I'm Adam. Today I'll be the Aramis of this group of musketeers. With me today, Chris Felix.
Porthos is my name.
There's only three of us today, so you only got
three musketeers. Yes, that's what we're doing.
That leaves me Athos.
That's right, Chris Gagne.
Yeah.
All right.
Athos.
Everybody knows those names.
We had a D'Artagnan, but he's a little under the weather.
That's right.
A little bit.
That's okay. It's just the three of us today. It's a little compressed, so it's all good. We're going to give you some Halloween scary stuff to talk about today, or to listen to, I guess, today.
Yeah.
We'll start out with some news. This week, or I guess last week, Titans came out, the first episode on our DC universe. And then this week, episode 2 came out. I guess it's one of those episodic things. It's going to be every week. A little bit different than Netflix is doing.
Is it every week or is it like every couple of weeks?
Nah, it's every week.
Okay. I know. But so everybody saw the first two episodes?
Guys, you see the first two?
No, so, once I found that out, I was kind of like, I think I'm going to wait and binge it and hope that it's better because everyone kind of turned me off from watching it after hearing Sam's glowing review.
Sure. Well, that kind of makes a little bit of sense. Maybe it'll be better as, a binged season. So far, I guess I'm a little disappointed. They've gone through 2 episodes, and we've seen Beast Boy for all of 30 seconds. I'm still not crazy about Starfire and her look. I'm hoping that'll change eventually. I dig Raven and her character and how kind of dark and kind of murderous she is at this point. It's a really weird show in that it's trying to be edgy, and it's really CW. So, I don't know. What do you think, Felix?
It's all right. I don't hate it. It feels like a little late. Like I said, I feel like this would have been like awesome before, like, I don't know, we kind of got oversaturated with it like every other superhero show.
Yeah, a lot of group shows on CW.
Yeah, I mean, it's just whatever. Like, it's just, it's very angsty. It's very trying hard to be super cool and edgy. Even its music is like very like douchey, fist pumping, like kind of like WWE music.
I'm glad you mentioned that because every time it comes on with some like weird track, I'm like, really?
It's like this super like intense, like like kind of like just bassy kind of like music, and it's like trying way too hard to be cool.
Boy.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, whatever. Like it hasn't really popped, I guess, for me. The Hawk and Dove episode is the last one that I just saw, and I don't know much about these characters. I mean, it's unfortunate Sam's not here. I'm sure he could explain these characters to us, but from what I gather, Hawk's just a big douchebag. That's literally all I got out of him. He's very much got insecurity issues with his relationship with Dove, and Robin and her, I guess, hooked up at some point.
Right.
But he's very much like, "What, you looking at my girl, bro?" Like, just kind of, he's very much a bro kind of dude, and like, I don't know, he didn't. Or whatever.
Kind of turn you off a little bit.
Yeah.
So someone clarify this for me. Hawk and Dove, are they originally part of Titans, or like that's not in any version I remember? Of course, I don't.
Yeah.
Correct. We're not quite sure. Actually, it's funny. We probably should have looked that up because Felix asked the same question. Maybe we should
so prepared.
do that, and we'll kind of edit that in here somewhere.
Yeah. See, we took a week off. Look how prepared we are.
Exactly. Not quite sure, but for them to introduce them before one of the main characters in the Titans, I thought was a little weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to see where it's going, but I don't know. It's like I said, it's fine. I'm not looking at it for any reason to dislike it, but it's just not wowing me at any point. I'm pretty sure with Starfire, they are going to show a more comic accurate version of her. It's obviously she has some sort of amnesia, so she's trying to figure it out too. So that's fine. So I don't hate it as much as I hated when I just saw set photos. Like everything works in context, I guess, in a way. But I don't know. I'm just gonna I'll wait it out, I guess. When we have the subscription, we might as well.
Yeah, exactly. So. It's one of the new shows. We're gonna keep watching it. We'll let you know as it goes.
Yeah, I did want to kind of find out though. So like, let's clarify. I guess spoilers. I guess on the show. So Robin left Batman because Batman was getting too violent.
It's really kind of vague on whether or not it was Batman was getting too violent or Robin was getting a little too violent.
Yeah,
because of it.
That's what I thought originally, but then Robin immediately shot 4 people in the fucking face. So I'm like, okay.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Robin's killing people. Robin's a badass.
So the first thing he does is drag somebody's face across a brick wall.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and
he's making Jigsaw.
Yes,
it leads up to the whole "fuck Batman" kind of quote thing right there. Like the crooks aren't taking him very serious at all. Like, the birdie's out by himself, and then he proceeds to kick everybody's ass. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he killed a few people in there. So that's where I was kind of confused. Like, why did he leave Batman?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Batman was being too much of a good impression on him. Maybe he wanted to,
teen angst,
kick ass or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, and
he's
then
angsty. He's edgy. He's got issues.
He left for Chicago? Isn't that where he's at?
I don't know. He's a detective now.
Dick.
Speaking of which, let's talk about that for a second.
Oh, right.
Sure.
So Dick Grayson is no longer Dick Grayson. Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah, this
He's
is what I
now
heard.
Rick Grayson.
Rick Grayson.
Like
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Like you can't even say Dick as a name anymore. Like
So it's not really because of the dick thing. It's because so apparently he got shot at one point, lost all his memories,
Yeah.
and so he has no connection to that name anymore, right? So he's like trying
such
to
a
create a
lame
new
excuse.
persona.
I mean, like KGB shot him in the head, I guess, but
Yeah.
like that's just so stupid. I mean,
That
like,
seems like poor writing just to kind of get a headline. Come on, he's always been Dick Grayson. Get out of here.
like I don't know. It's so stupid. Like the fact that he remembers every other syllable of his name, like Ick Grayson. Just gotta fucking change it to Rick. Like, come
And
on,
then
just
it's
say what
kinda-
it is. Like we got all sensitive about Batman's dick. Now we can't even say the fucking name.
That's true.
It's dumb.
This black.
They're
label's not
wiping
working
out all the
Yeah.
dicks in Batman.
very well. Yes. All right. So next, we'll stick in the DC area. We got James Gunn's now rumored to be doing Suicide Squad 2. Writing and directing, right? Everybody's happy about this.
It works.
Yeah, it could be a good transition.
Yeah.
And DC's always looking for a new little
Yeah.
win, so like they need something going on.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't think we needed another Suicide Squad movie until like I heard James Gunn might do it. So I'm like, that's perfect. Honestly, get a bunch of wacky, weird characters, put them all together.
Yeah,
Make
bunch
them
of
have
unknowns.
chemistry.
What did same thing he did with Guardians, right?
Yeah, and it's gonna be a more or an edgier version, I guess, because it's still DC and it's a Suicide Squad. It's all the bad guys, so
Yeah.
like that's perfect. Why not? So I'm excited to see what he does with it. I guess now.
Am I in the
Together.
minority? Am I the only one who liked the first one?
Suicide Squad. I liked parts of it. I didn't hate it.
Yeah. I enjoyed it, so I'm excited to see what Gunn's how he can improve on it. I mean, if I already liked the first one, I thought the only thing the first one was missing was a real bad guy because it was
it was a little.
Enchantress. Is that what it was? Yeah.
It wasn't great.
She was rough.
It was one of those movies too. I was so excited to go see it, and I walked out, and I was like, yeah, it was so good. And I woke up, and I was like,
What was good
damn
about it? I can't remember.
I even went to work. I'm like, dude, was that girl? Was she doing the Axl Rose move? Like, was she like dancing? Like
She totally was.
It was so bad. Like, I
That
don't
was
know,
bad. Yeah, I'll admit.
yeah. It just got like super messy. There's too many people in there. They're like literally just mentioning a character like, this is Katana, she's got my back, and that's it. That's it. Like, all right, cool, welcome aboard. Like she's literally just hopped in
Then
out.
you never see her again until she slices one dude's head off.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know, and it was dumb.
She's a silent assassin. Okay, you're not supposed to know she's there.
Right.
Yeah, advise not getting killed by her. Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna get into it. It's not great.
So I actually liked Joker in that movie, which I'll probably be in the minority with that one.
Yep.
But him and Harley, I thought they had good chemistry. So yeah, maybe looking forward to what they can do in the second
I
one.
think the best part about that was that Alex Ross cover where they're did a little dancing. Yeah, that was the best part about that.
That was a great cameo. So let's talk about some Marvel news. We just had Daredevil season 3 come out for Netflix. I think I'm about maybe 5 episodes in. They've gotten to the bullseye part, which I really like so far.
Not quite there yet.
Yeah.
4 episodes, but no, we've met Poindexter.
Yep.
Well, I didn't know people still name their kid that, but yeah, no, I'm liking it. Why is it that like Daredevil stands out so much above the rest of the Netflix shows? Like,
That's a good question.
there's like good things about all the other shows, but like I don't know, it's just like it's so solid beginning to end. Like as soon as I hear that intro music come on, it just gets me so excited.
It's it's because the cast of characters is just really good.
Yeah.
Every side character you still enjoy to see their little side quests.
It's got really good showrunners too. I mean, Goddard, who created it, and Jeff Loeb, who they've been doing stuff for a long time. That I think that they just know what they're doing. I don't know that they've given that same treatment to the other ones.
Well, which I guess is part of the reason why they've canceled 2 of them. So Iron Fist and Luke Cage both gone, canceled, at least until Disney has their own Marvel app or whatever they want to do with it.
Until they get relaunched.
But like you said, they just can't seem to quite. They don't have the same thing that Daredevil has with those 2. You been watching the new one, Gunny?
No, it's been torturing me too. That I just I hit the road on Saturday morning early, and it launched on Friday, and I just did not get to it. So and now I'm on restriction from starting it without the wife. So
Oh gosh, yeah.
she loves it.
Be watching ahead.
It's not often you get her loving the nerdy
Something that
stuff.
she likes?
So yeah,
Totally.
yeah. I'm like I'll wait for this one then.
No, I like it so far. It's up there with the first 2 seasons.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, the Bullseye kind of backstory and intro is really interesting. Kind of see his decline because he starts as a good guy, as a cop. So
Yeah, I'm wondering
I don't
how
want to give too much away, but
true it is to the comics, because honestly, that's one of those characters I've always known, but I've never really known his history. So
Right.
I don't know, I'm kind of curious to see how it plays out with him. But I am liking him so far. I did like his introduction. So, and D'Onofrio's still killing it.
of
He's
course,
so great as Kingpin.
He's got a suit full, or I'm sorry, a closet full of white suits now where I'm at. So he's very
Love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love how he's basically protected by the CIA now, and so he lives in basically the lap of luxury. But he's got the CIA's protection,
Yeah,
so nobody can go against him either way.
Yeah, he's full blown Kingpin.
Yeah,
at
he's
this
total
point. He's
Kingpin
great.
now. It's really good, really good.
Yeah. I had to mention real quick though on the Luke Cage and Iron Fist thing. They're definitely coming back. I'm pretty sure Disney's going to relaunch them, but I think they're going to get relaunched as Heroes for Hire. I think finally.
Okay.
Because I mean, why not? I mean, they kind of need each other. Honestly,
I think they'd work better as a duo.
yeah. I mean, honestly, there's
Show.
good things about both shows, but they kind of just drag, in my opinion. They need a little bit extra pop, and the best part of Defenders was them getting together for the first time. Like, even just for a couple minutes, just seeing them team up, I got excited. I had fun with that, so I'm kind of hoping that's what happens. Hopefully we'll get to see that as its own show.
I agree. They're better as a team up.
Is
They
that
play
kind of
off each other.
is that a storyline, like comic book storyline, Felix?
Oh,
where
yeah.
they team up. Okay.
That's
It's
like
actually
what they're majorly known for.
Yeah, they're mostly known as a team up.
Power Man and Iron Fist.
Yeah.
And that's
okay.
They're heroes for hire. Basically, they just get paid to do the little people's work.
Yeah.
And so they've constantly had that storyline going on forever. So that's why there's a lot of cool nods to it in Defenders, where they're kind of butting heads and not really seeing eye to eye. Because that's one thing that they missed about Danny Rand in the show, is that he's kind of like a little innocent, like kind of like, but happy-go-lucky a little bit. He's got a little weird Spider-Man charm to him a little bit, where he's very innocent, naive, but he's still very much gung-ho for everything. And Luke Cage is more the straight man and all that. So they're kind of missing that Riggs and Murtaugh kind of vibe.
Exactly.
So I really hope that they'll bring that out if they bring them back as a duo, which I think they should.
That would be the next logical step.
Yeah, I was hoping for a Luke Cage Jessica Jones team up and kind of move that story along and do something with that, because I don't know about the second season of Jessica Jones. They ought to maybe wipe that one. Just make them all join together.
That one was a little rough.
I still didn't finish it.
Yeah, maybe they'd do better off as going together as a couple of team ups. Switch these around.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll jump into some Marvel, I guess, movie news. We had our new Spider-Man costume kind of revealed on, I think it was Jimmy Kimmel or one of those late shows, whatever.
I think so. Yeah.
And it was red and black instead of red and blue. It was okay. What'd you guys think of it?
I didn't hate it. And, I think
just...
some of the guys were hating it, but I think it looks good. I just want to see how it's going to be used in the film, because it looks like he has a couple costume changes. But I've been following the paparazzi photos. Shame on me, I know. But there's like one shot he's wearing like the Spider-Man Noir suit. It looks like,
Ooh, cool.
or at least it looks similar to that, or maybe it's a stealth suit. I've heard other people call it. So, but he's wearing that at one point. I thought I saw him wearing the original classic suit at one point, and now he's wearing this one. So, and he's overseas in Europe, I guess. So.
Okay. Interesting.
I mean, I don't know how it's going to be used in the context of the film. It's one of those things we can't really judge until it's seen in action. So I'm still excited. I mean, I think it looks cool. I can't wait to see it and how it looks on screen.
I just want the emblem bigger. Like, I want the spider in the chest, like, I don't know, a little more prominent. I feel like that's always the focal point of the suit, and it's kind of missing from that. Like, the suit looks fine, but it needs like something to kind of draw the eye, where it just kind of seems bland. Like, especially after the Iron Spidey suit. I mean, that was, it just, blew us away. And then all of a sudden it's kind of like, well, back to this, whatever. But I have not been following the paparazzi photos. So I'll be interested to see when they that first screen test. Cause obviously when he's jumping around in Kimmel, it's not going to look the same as it's going to look on screen. So sure, I'll wait till I see some footage. I'm still curious how the story is going to continue, or where it sits in the whole Marvel universe.
Yeah, I'm still excited to see a little bit more from Mysterio. We saw a couple of shots of his costume.
He's like one of my favorite villains. I don't know why, just because he's so damn weird. And he just has like one of the more unique looks of every villain. So just to see this come to life, I'm like, and you have Jake Gyllenhaal playing him. Holy shit, that's awesome.
You have so many different ways to like visually use his powers too, because he's just he just creates a lot of like mental images, and he's just a mind bender. So
I mean, his history, he's a special effects artist, so I mean, like, and he's you got a big budget movie like this, like, you can go crazy and do so many cool like visual effects with that. Exactly. So I don't know. I can't wait to see what they do with that.
Yeah, totally. Along the same lines, Marvel movies, we got Black Widow movie finally, I guess, greenlit, and Scarlett Johansson's getting paid $15 million for this one. I think I looked this up, and Cap only made like $3 million for his first appearance. So
Really?
this is definitely a nice little chunk of change for Scarlett Johansson.
So do you have like numbers for all the other actors like in their first roles?
Let me go ahead and look those up again.
Yeah, I don't know about their first roles, but I mean, I know that she's getting on par with what I think Thor and Cap got on the last Avengers movie. So I think they both got 15 million. So that's, hey, good for her.
Yeah, I mean, they've been talking about this movie forever, so I think it's about time.
Yeah,
now
she's earned it.
Yeah, she's earned it, and they should have done a movie years ago. I don't know what, I guess just the focus has been on, the continuation of the story, but I think she's...
Yeah, you think maybe they're just waiting on their next phase, to insert maybe her to start the next group of heroes? Or
because I'm curious to see like where this would take place as far as the story goes. I mean, we still don't know what the fallout of Infinity War looks like, so I don't know. Yeah, I'd be curious to see what they have in mind as far as setting her up with a solo adventure. I kind of picture her doing more of a team up sort of thing, kind of the way like Winter Soldier was, where it was like, Cap was there, but you obviously still had, Falcon, Nick Fury, and then Black Widow too. They were all a big part of it. So I would imagine it, maybe her teaming up with other members of the MCU,
like Hawkeye.
Exactly.
Or Ronin.
Little Ronin action. Yeah, we can't wait to see that one.
That'd be sweet, like an espionage movie with those two. That'd be fun.
Yeah, totally. Little spy movie.
Like
I
Born
actually
Identity
really
kind of
liked
thing. Imagine that.
Winter Soldier, and it was mostly a spy movie.
It was.
Oh,
yeah,
totally.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
That's one of the best in my opinion.
All right, so just a quick thing here. This says Chris Evans earned around $8 million for Infinity War. First Avenger, he was only $150,000.
Really?
What?
Yeah. Look at that.
Damn.
Let's see. Hemsworth for Infinity War, $12 million. Looks like Black Panther. He didn't have a very big role in Infinity War, but he made $3 million.
Gee, that's for $1 million for every minute that he was on screen.
Pretty much.
I'd like a paycheck like that.
Mark Ruffalo's $5 to $6 million for his role. So yeah, $15 million. That's a huge chunk of money.
It's awesome. What about like Downey Jr. though? I'm pretty sure that guy has like his own currency at this point.
He was the first.
I mean, Downey just probably gets what, 20 million
per
per
movie,
time they say his name.
This says, oh my goodness, $50 million for Infinity War.
Holy shit!
This is rumors apparently, but still, good lordy.
It pays to be on board first, right?
Exactly.
He's legit Tony Stark, man.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
he could have found a better role.
He's gonna legally change his name.
Be legally printing his own money soon.
Totally. All right, guys, moving on. We had a couple of castings for The Witcher on Netflix. So they casted both Ciri and Yennefer, which is his love interest and his basically adopted child, which he kind of looks after, which I thought was a little weird because both these castings are really young. So it puts the timeline for this story is going to be like more of an origin story now, or kind of how he became what he is now. So it's interesting. So they got this girl named Freya Allen who plays Ciri. She's only 17 years old. She was on one episode of Into the Badlands, if you caught that one. And then for Yennefer, this girl is called Anya Charlatra, and she's only 21. And she's a BBC actress. So she's done some stuff across the seas. But yeah, a couple of young actresses coming out for The Witcher. What do you think, Felix?
Yeah, like I said, I don't know the lore of Witcher that much, but I mean, like you were saying, they all look very young, and I mentioned before Henry Cavill looks pretty young for playing Geralt. Mm-hmm. So yeah, maybe this is like early on in the timeline. This is like Solo, before A New Hope. So yeah, maybe we're kind of get to see his origins, I guess, and maybe see what brought him to where he's at. I guess in the early games.
Like for Gagne, if The Witcher 3, you can tell Geralt's kind of like he's seasoned. He's got the grizzled white beard. His hair's actually white because of another reason, but you can tell he's a veteran at that point. And then both these characters, Yennefer, she's like a witch, kind of sorceress type, and basically she's this voluptuous kind of intriguing woman in the game, and this actress now 21 years old. We'll see where they take it. I feel it's going to be quite early in their storyline.
Maybe they're banking on it being successful and having to carry on for a while, but that's interesting. Is the character, supposed to be British? I mean, casting another Brit alongside Cavill, are they going to be in native tongue or?
You know, I want to say she does have kind of an accent
Yeah,
in the game.
they all have accents, I think. I was playing not that long ago.
It's very medieval, that kind of timeline.
Yeah, it's got that same Game of Thrones accent that everybody has.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, yeah, no, I guess so. I guess they're going for more of that authentic Renaissance kind of vibe to it. So
maybe they spent all their money on Cavill and they just couldn't afford any other names.
That could definitely be true.
Yeah,
Give me some no-name ladies.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other names cast in here, but I don't know any of these people that are in here, honestly. Like, literally a bunch of no names.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't really know any of these characters. So
right,
this is all going to be new to me.
Well, you know, could be like a new, Game of Thrones. We didn't know any of those people before.
I know, right?
So. Yeah, they're household names now. That's true.
We shall see. I know. I actually just finished a little run-through of Game of Thrones again.
It's about that time.
I know. Isn't
there still like 6 months left until it premieres?
Yeah, probably. That's true.
Getting ready to rewatch it for like the 4th time over.
Exactly.
Maybe I'll have to commit to it like at the new year so that I can watch the last season with you guys since I've never seen it. So
no shit.
What?
3 episodes.
Yes,
I saw the first 3 episodes and that's it.
Oh my god, dude, we got some catching up to do.
Yeah, dude, that's good stuff.
Quick news about Halloween, because we didn't watch it, but it did do $77.5 million, which
good lordy.
Damn.
So it almost beat Venom.
Yeah, second biggest October opening, and yeah, that's it's pretty impressive. I did see one stat that was like, this is the highest grossing film that stars a 55-year-old or older woman, and I was like,
wow.
We're stretching here, but I mean that's good. I mean, the star is Michael Myers, and I appreciate Jamie Lee Curtis, and glad she's back. But I thought that was kind of funny.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's so like every time I see those, like, those little quotes are like, it's breaking records all over the place. It's like making up new stats. I'm like, well, yeah, of course you can break records if you're just making up new things every time.
Exactly.
That's what statistics are good for.
Yeah, exactly.
Happen. But that's great though. That's good numbers for that. We got to go check that one out. Hopefully, we'll get back to you on that one next week.
Yes,
for the review
for sure.
Let's jump into, how about Gagne? Let's give us a little recap of this Bend Film Festival you were at.
Yeah, it was a whirlwind of a weekend, man. I got to work the Thursday night premiere and as the venue manager, so back to the roots, which was nice, and a lot of excitement and a lot of stressing about technical issues here and there. You got a director who's like, what about the sound and what about this, could you tweak, but it was a good time. I only got to see 3 films, which I was a little disappointed in myself, but they were all good. I watched 2 docs, one called Roll Red Roll, which was about the football team in Steubenville, Ohio, and it was a very somber story because it's about a sexual assault that takes place and how this basically gets uncovered through social media. And so this lady who is a blogger ends up like starting to tie these pieces together by using all of these high school kids' social media to paint the picture of what happened. So really, really good doc. Highly recommend it. Very hard to stomach some of the stuff because you just can't believe that, these high school kids are saying these things and doing these things, but really well done. A little lighter one we watched was Pick of the Litter. It was about seeing eye dogs. And so this litter of 5 or 6 labs, you just basically follow them from birth to becoming a seeing eye dog. And
so all their training and stuff.
Yep.
That would be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool to see, what it takes. I mean, they go through like a 20-month training program. They can be like passed around to different families based on how their progress is going. Some of them, they call it career changed if they aren't picked because their behavior isn't good enough. I can definitely tell you that it moved the audience because as some of the pups would like pass certain levels, people were like clapping in the audience. I mean, they were just enthralled with it. So
passing out napkins and shit.
Yeah, I legit cried too once in it, man. One of these dogs was trained by a war vet who had PTSD, and it was like his buddy, and then they ripped him away from him, and we're like, we need to give him to another home so that he can continue his training, and you're just like heartbroken, but the dog actually doesn't end up making it, and they give the dog back to the guy, and I was just like, so sad, like so happy and so sad at the same time, but it was well done. And then the last one I watched was a Jim Gaffigan comedy called You Can Choose Your Family. And kind of an interesting title, but basically this teenage son sneaks away to a camp during spring break and ends up running into his dad, realizing that his dad, who he thinks is on a business trip in Japan, is with his other family and has had another family for 18 years. And so it's kind of this like hilarious, like he starts staying with his dad's other family and like just trying to learn more about his dad this way, and just hilarious. Gaffigan's fantastic in it. The other people, Anna Gunn, who played Skylar on Breaking Bad, she's in it.
Mm-hmm.
It was.
Did you get
just
to see
hilarious.
any of these famous people?
No, I did see Paul Lieberstein, who plays Toby from The Office. Got to meet him. He was
Nice.
such an awesome guy. His movie played one of the days that I was covering venue manager position, and brought a big group out, and they said it was really, really good. It was called Song of Back and Neck, just basically a comedy about a guy who has back and neck problems, and he goes to this acupuncturist, and his back starts playing music. I don't know. It's a very odd story, but I heard it was hilarious, so I got to meet him, and that was really cool. I did learn that the comedy I told you about with Jim Gaffigan got picked up by Universal, but it's interesting to see these films, like some of these get picked up on the circuit, and then they're like kind of given a different treatment. Like, so I got to hear from the director about this movie, and she got picked up by Universal, but they're actually reshooting and changing stuff, and then they're going to call it a completely different title when it comes out next summer. So,
Oh wow.
Really?
yeah. So I was like, oh, that's kind of an interesting process. Universal bought it, and we're like, yeah, we love this
You're
about
like,
it, but we're going to change this about it. So,
Huh. Is that how like most short films work with festivals? Because I think like with Whiplash, for instance, I saw the original short film. It's still directed by Damien Chazelle, and what's his name? Oh my God, I'm blanking his name. Oh my God, help me! It's the professor. What's
Miles
his name?
Teller?
No.
Oh,
The one who
my
won
God.
the award. J.K. Simmons. Holy shit!
Thank you. I was like,
sorry.
it's freaking Commissioner Gordon.
Yes. I was gonna say J. Jonah Jameson before that, but anyways,
There you go.
no. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Anyways, there was a short film Whiplash. Like I saw that like before it became like a big picture, and then it got released majorly, and it's like the same scene where Neiman kind of gets belittled in front of the classroom and all that. So like it's reshot, again with a different actor, Miles Teller playing the kid. So yeah, I mean that's kind of how I'm wondering, is that how festivals work? Like they kind of pick out like a base or like I guess like a blueprint
like
for
kind of
a
like the
film?
start of this movie.
Yeah, and then they take it from there and they make it their own thing.
I think it's definitely how some of it works. I think
Right.
I've talked to directors from the film festival the last couple of years who had short films that they submitted at a festival, and they won an award for that short film, and so they've turned it into a longer feature film, and I think it definitely works that way. But I mean, if I was that's got to be kind of a hard creative thing, in this situation of the film we saw, we really liked the comedy as it was, and then to hear that it's going to be treated and changed, and the title is going to change. I'm interested to see it, after it gets that treatment and see what happens to it, because I mean, you sell your project that you love and you've nurtured, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, we're going to change this. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
What
well,
did I sell myself into?
right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's how it works. But yeah, it was a good turnout. I don't know if you guys know who Adam Beach is. He was from Smoke Signals. Movie came out in '98. Had a good indie following. He was in Wind Talkers. He was in Law and Order SVU. But we have a Native American film program now because we're really close to the Warm Springs Reservation, and he came out for it and was out at the reservation showing his movie and whatnot. But at the award show, the closing night, it was just, he was on fire, man. Like, he was interacting with the people on stage, and he was just hilarious and like super down to earth and having a good time with it, which, it can be rare when you're talking about people who have, made it and done stuff and come into a small town where it doesn't matter. But he was just having a blast with it. So good dude.
I imagine the small towns will be the fun ones.
Right. Yeah. Where you
Yeah,
just
out
feel
there
like you be
kinda.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it
Well,
was a good time.
So you're gonna be doing that again next year? You're gonna be on the management side again, right?
I'm going to withdraw from being a manager and really just enjoy the fest next year. I'm going to tour you guys around and make you, watch all the films and go to all the, directors' breakfasts and Q&As and whatnot, so that we can cover it for the fest, like truly, with some footage and after party stuff. And yeah, it's I'm on the board, and I will stay on the board, but I think next year I want to really just do it up from Thursday night all the way through Sunday.
See more of the festival.
Yeah, actually enjoy
Exactly.
it.
Cool, man.
Yeah, dude. Awesome, good stuff.
Sounds like a
man.
plan, man.
I went tangent real quick on the subject of film festivals. I got to give a quick shout out to my brother, Mr. Eddie Felix. He actually had his short film displayed over at the CSN campus recently at their 7th annual short film showcase, actually. So yeah, he actually got to display his own short film in front of a nice audience, and
Nice.
he actually won Best Screenplay that night for his short film. It's called Signing Off. Really cool, inspirational film. I'm not sure exactly where he has it available right now. I mean, we'll post it up later when I find out more info. But I just had to give a quick shout out, just more on the subject of independent short filmmakers. Go support these guys.
Absolutely.
They work
Congrats,
really, really
Eddie.
hard. Yeah, man,
That's
worked
awesome.
really hard on that stuff. He made a nice little cameo in his own film too.
Of
So
course.
it's really good stuff. So yeah, hopefully you guys will get a chance to see it. So hopefully
Nice.
we'll get to
I'm,
post it
I'm
up
gonna make
somewhere.
him. I'm gonna make him submit it for the festival next year.
Yes, that'd be awesome.
So
No, he deserves all the credit, man. He did such a good job. I was really impressed. So really proud of you, dude. Good job out there.
All right, let's move on to vampires and movies. We had this suggestion from our friend John Lewis.
Yeah.
He wanted us to
Buddy John,
give us a little list of some of the vampires that we liked.
let's just talk some smack. Come on.
There you go.
Talk vampires.
Yeah, so we got a few. I guess, of course, Blade's going to be on the top of
The
this
best
list,
vampire.
probably
We
pretty
win.
much, yeah.
Moving on. Best vampire.
I think they already kind of argued this on Facebook anyway, but yeah. So we'll stay away from Blade a little bit. We got plenty of other vampires, lots of Draculas, a few Edwards. Where do you want to start, fellas? Where do you want to start?
all right. So I had struggled to think of someone after Blade, but then I instantly remembered Tom Cruise as Lestat in Interview with the Vampire.
Yes, Interview with the
And,
Vampire.
It's kind of over the top, but when you go back and watch it, I mean, he just still, that movie is, I like it, and I think he's great in that role, and I think that's one of my top ones still.
I agree. Totally. Wasn't Brad Pitt a vampire in that movie as well?
Mm-hmm.
He was.
I don't think he had like a special name like Lestat, though.
Louis, he was boring.
He was just some guy.
Kirsten Dunst was a vampire in that one too, so.
Yeah, Antonio Banderas is in there too. It's a lot of
Yeah.
people.
Oh, yeah.
One that I really kind of like on the humorous side of this one is Jim Carrey in Once Bitten. He got
Oh, wow. Good pull.
Yeah,
Good
he
pull.
got turned. He wasn't really the main vampire, but and he actually did, I think, turned human at the end. So, but he's still a vampire at one point in the movie. Love it. It was a good comedy
I
back
don't
in the
remember
90s.
much about that movie. It was like one of those. It was like on USA, like kind of like After Dark. It was like one of those risque comedies.
Totally.
So like,
What else you got, Felix?
oh, dude, I said it earlier. Leslie Nielsen as my favorite version of Dracula.
Dracula.
Mel Brooks is Dracula, dead and loving
Dead
it.
and loving it.
Yeah, dude, it's just such ridiculous, over the top comedy, like slapstick that you'll never find in movies nowadays. And like, just I love the take on Gary Oldman's wig in Dracula. So, may I take your coat? He said, no, but you may take my hat. And he just takes the wig off. It's so good. It's so silly, ridiculous, but I love it, man. I watched that movie like on constant repeat when I was a kid. Yeah, dude, it's great, funny stuff. Go dig that one up.
Leslie Nielsen.
One of my favorite
He's
vampires.
classic.
Yeah.
Another good comedy vampire one. What else got to Gagne?
I got Kiefer Sutherland in the Lost Boys.
Yes.
Boring
Totally.
name, it's just David. But man, that as a kid was probably one of my favorites to just put on during Halloween. I what's cooler than glamorous teenagers on a boardwalk where I lived close to Santa Cruz, and so there was this connection, and Kiefer Sutherland was just the hot shit in the 80s.
Yeah.
And
He was a cool dude.
oh yeah,
And he
Like-
had all the Corys in that movie, right?
Yeah. Dude, it's
Jason
like the
Patrick.
ultimate 80s
That
like
was-
horror movie.
Yeah.
it
Oh,
was
yeah.
great.
It wasn't
great
like a
80s.
horror movie, but like it was just like it just stunk of the 80s, and it was so good, dude. I mean, he had the mullet, he had like those crazy earrings, like
Yeah.
the leather jacket, like
That's when vampires were still scary.
yeah, dude. I mean, they didn't sparkle.
Yeah.
Let's just talk about it real quick. It's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
fucking
you know it's gonna
vampire
be
named
on there.
Edward. Let's just pull him into any other dimension where vampires actually burn up in the sunlight and keep him there. Because no, I'm sorry. Yeah, the first time I ever heard of this character too, like I had no idea what the hell Twilight was, and I
Right.
walked into Spencer's because I was still a mall kid, and like me and the lady walked in, and like we saw these wristbands that said Team Edward. Like, what the hell is that? Like, and I almost bought one for my brother Edward just to be funny.
You're like,
hey,
hey, Edward,
like,
you're like,
Team
I'm glad I
Edward.
didn't put you in that
Like,
one.
it's your name, ha ha ha. It's
Yeah.
funny, And then I found out, like, yo, it's because of this stupid vampire. Guys, I've never seen any of these movies. I might sound like a big, hypocrite. I don't care. Like everything I've heard about these things, it just sounds god awful. I never want to fucking witness any of these movies or books. Burn them all. There you go.
I'm
Well-
gonna stand by those comments too, because I haven't either, and I never will. And I just I've ran across it, on TV for a 10-minute at a time, and go, why? Like, how did this happen? But it was a thing.
It was a thing, and sadly, I can say that I've read and watched all of them.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know. I had a girlfriend that was really into the Twilight thing.
Yeah.
So you know, you had to kind of be wise to it.
I feel like John did this also. So calling you out, dude. I'm pretty sure you've read these things, and I'm pretty sure you've already.
They're not
the
good
books are
by
better
any
than the
means. They
movies.
are not good. But to get brownie points with the girlfriend, I mean, yeah, you do a few things.
I
That makes
guess,
sense.
but like everything I've heard about this just sounds awful. Like the girl sounds like a terrible
Complete
person who just like
stupid
creates all
ditz.
these problems, that creates this war between these like species, and I don't know, it all sounds awful. And then he has blue steel. He's constantly wearing it on his face.
Yeah,
It's
it's true.
God.
And then he sparkles when he goes out.
he sparkles in the
So-
sunlight because
yeah.
that's what vampires do.
It doesn't
That's what
help when you
vampires
get, a couple people who really aren't great actors. I just don't think much of Kristen
Yeah.
Stewart or.
No, I really.
Yeah.
She's got a dead face.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Resting dead face.
She's got a resting dead face, and he's got blue steel face, and then you got the other caveman over there.
Right.
So I don't know. It's awful.
It
Take,
wasn't.
Take
yeah,
it away.
It wasn't great.
Take it away.
Yeah.
I did watch True Blood though.
True Blood.
On that
Yeah,
note.
there you go.
That's
I
a
watched
guilty
it too
pleasure.
until they got to fairies, and then I was like, I'm out.
I said I watched it all. Yeah.
Oh, so you watched it all? See, I'm
Yeah,
up to
so
about
that,
3 seasons.
Yeah, I
of
know.
that.
I can't talk so much crap. Whatever. It starts off fine.
It does. It starts
Suck
out
it.
pretty good.
It gets really. It's. I just really watched it just to make fun of that guy Bill for so long, and like
Yeah.
it's I can't even get into it too much. I'm like I'm put it on the spot. I got into the show because of my lady.
There you
It's
go.
for
See,
plenty of good reasons.
See?
Lots of eye candy on that show for
Totally.
the ladies. I
Yeah.
can't even be mad at her.
you got the redhead from Daredevil.
Yeah,
First
no,
started
I
out,
got
so,
that.
yeah.
I know.
Deborah
Like when
Wall, love her.
yeah, when Alcide popped up with Joe Manganiello, I was like, really? Come on, put a shirt on. Like seriously,
I mean,
asshole.
let's be real. If you were ripped like him, you wouldn't wear a shirt either.
Hell no. Good for him.
Why would you? All right. So my other note here was Celine from the Underworld series.
Oh, I had that. Good job.
Yeah.
Yes. You gotta love the tight black spandex.
The leather. Yes.
So good.
Kate Beckinsale.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like my wear all black clothing era too.
Totally.
So, like,
You hit the goth hard on
Yeah.
that one, and of course you had all the super old vampires, Michael and all those. I can't remember his name right now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I can't
Michael
either.
Sheen.
It was-
I'm sorry.
oh,
Michael Sheen was the bad guy, right?
I think so.
There
Yeah.
was a few of them. Anyway, it was one of my favorite like versions of the vampires, like visually and just the war between them and the Lycans. I really enjoyed that like dark, action-y type of vampire flick.
Yeah, it's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
It's very much a stylized like Matrix era kind
A
of
little bit.
movie where it's just like a lot of leather, a lot of guns.
Show me some action.
Yeah.
It's not really
Everything's in
about the
slow
vampires,
motion.
but it's about the guns.
Yeah, it's stylized action. I mean, like at one point, one of the guys busts out like whips, like with they had like
electric
silver
whips
on
or
it,
some
and
shit.
it did not work out well for him. It was dumb.
I also
what
put
other-
down Chloe Grace Moritz in Let Me In.
Yeah.
Did you
That's
guys ever
actually
see
a really
that
good movie.
Yeah, I really
saw that.
liked it.
I actually saw the original one too. I think
Let
I
the
like
Right
that
One In?
Slightly better, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely better.
But both good vampire flicks. What else did you have on the list there, Felix? Anything?
I think that was the main gist of them. Like when it comes down to it, it's like what version of Dracula do you want to talk about?
Totally.
In the end, because like every like movie that I think about, it's like a version of Dracula that pretty much stands out.
I mean, I guess we can't go into without saying John Carpenter's.
Oh, vampires.
It was vampires, or was it just Dracula?
That was
Uh,
Coppola. Bram Stoker Dracula was
Bram
Francis Ford
Stoker's.
Coppola.
Yeah, he did Dracula, and then John Carpenter's was vampires with what's his face, James Woods,
Yeah.
and then and the fat bald one.
Oh man.
The fat bald one.
Was it Daniel? I think
Daniel.
Might be
Yep.
Yeah. That's
I would've
oh,
named-
oh,
I would have named Gary Oldman from Bram Stoker's, but once you trumped it with Dead and Loving It and that comic bit, I was like, well, I'm just gonna leave that one out.
That's still worth mentioning, though. It's still a good one.
Oldman's always good.
What was the other movie I was thinking of? It's what's it? George Clooney. From Dusk Till
Oh,
Dawn.
Dust Till Dawn.
Just a
Yeah.
bunch of random vampires, but
Yeah.
just bloodbath everywhere. That was a fun movie. It was just ridiculous, but it was fun.
You have Salma Hayek, so
What else? We just
Yeah.
naming
That's a good
random ones.
vampire.
There was a Queen of the Damned. With
Oh, yeah.
oh
That
yeah,
was
Aliyah?
wasn't that like a
Aliyah?
sequel to
It is.
Interview with a Vampire?
it is. Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
horrible sequel.
I didn't realize they were related.
Yeah, very much that early 2000s kind of vibe. Again, everything's dark and it's got that weird blue-gray filter.
Well, let us know what other vampires we missed. There's plenty of Draculas out there, I'm sure. Another little caveat, though, Castlevania, the season 2 is coming out, I think, this week.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So go and rewatch the first 4 of those. Those were awesome.
That's what I was thinking.
So let's move on. We got our little scary movie of the week was The Exorcist. This was 1973 movie, rated 8 out of 10 on IMDb. This was our introduction to Linda Blair. She was 15 years old at the time, and she was the little girl on the bed. We all know, spitting pea soup and doing the 360 head move and, basically cussing out the priests.
Filthy mouth.
Yeah, she had some language. Captain America would not be happy. That's for sure. So a couple of priests in this movie. Father Karras, he was kind of the younger priest, and Father Marin, who was the older, more experienced exorcist that they kind of brought in toward the end of the movie. We were a little surprised. This was Felix's first time watching this movie, by the way. I was a little surprised that the exorcism didn't really come toward maybe 3/4 of the movie in. It'd been a while since I've seen this one.
I really think it was like the last half hour that pretty much centers around the entire exorcism.
They basically exhausted every other option before they went into hey, maybe it's a supernatural thing. We should get an exorcist. Which, maybe drew out the movie just a tad. But I think going back and watching it again, it's still pretty scary. I think the language itself, is a little jarring. The makeup is excellent. It turns this little girl into this freakish, demon. What did you think, Felix?
It was good. Like you said, this is my first time watching it, and this is one of those movies that I just kind of had built up in my head for so long as being like the most terrifying thing ever. Right. Because growing up, like my mom basically built this movie up to be like the devil's, basically project. Sure. Like she saw when she was a little girl in theaters, so it like traumatized her. And then like seeing what this film was, I can definitely see why it scared the crap out of people at that day and age. To me, it wasn't the scariest thing I'd ever seen. I mean, obviously if you have something built up like that for so long, it can never, meet up to that standard. But this is definitely the beginning of all these supernatural horror movies that we see, totally running amok all over Hollywood nowadays. When it was over, I kind of felt like I'd seen this type of story so many times over, and just every other kind of Conjuring movie, Insidious, all these other movies,
all these kind of new ones.
Yeah, but this is obviously the grandfather of them all, and it's good. Like you were saying, I was kind of surprised that all the exorcism scenes were just at the very end, because the way I've seen this film marketed and just spoken about online and in general, everything I've ever seen from it is just the exorcism.
All the scenes you see, all the things that are mentioned, right?
Yeah, so I was really surprised that was just like literally the very end of the movie, and it was great. It really was great. It's still, that scene, it does hold up. It's still freakish. The makeup is fantastic. It really does make it look terrifying, demonic. But yeah, I mean, it didn't really like freak me out. I guess I was really looking for like a really good scary movie. It was more disturbing than anything else. There was a lot of disturbing imagery. Yep. Honestly, the part that I grimaced at the most was when they're operating on her, when they kept taking her back to the hospital and they're like just right in the jugular, just like getting all that blood out. I was like, oh my God. I was like, that was just hard to watch. To me, I get squeamish with stuff like that.
It's the hospital scenes.
Yeah, that was just messed up. And then it's extremely vulgar. The language was very, very like jarring. So, and like even I don't hear stuff like that in film nowadays. So to hear that like back in the 70s, like, oh my God, this girl's like literally possessed by the devil. And then you see her kind of like, messing with herself with the cross and being all bloodied and all that. It's like, yeah, it's some grotesque imagery. It's like, it's really kind of hard to stomach some of it. But in the end, I thought it was fine. It was a good movie. It's not like I don't know, I guess it's one of those maybe I should have seen a long time ago, because it didn't really like surprise me, I guess, in a lot of ways. I feel like I'd seen a lot of these things done before, but again, this is a product of me being diluted by the market and seeing these types of films over and over again before seeing this one. But I do have to give it credit where it's due. This is the originator, and it did it amazing, and I can absolutely see why it holds up. It holds that legacy that it does, and people revere it as like the most terrifying movie of all time. It's earned it.
Yeah. Of all time. What'd you think, Anya? Did it live up to that moniker?
When I first saw it, I think it did. I was probably 19 or 20, and when it got re-released in theaters, and ran a midnight screening for employees and shut all the lights off, including like the wall sconce and the Tivoli and everything.
Nice.
Just completely pitch black with a bunch of people who hadn't seen it. There's so much imagery in it that just like makes your skin crawl. Like you said, the crucifix. The one that sticks with me still is when she's walking down the stairs, like upside down, and just like
the crab walk.
God, it just made my hair stand up because of that. And it definitely isn't, it's not that like jumping out, scaring, the loud score, the in your face, but there's just imagery in it that's just bothersome. Even more so than I think The Shining for me. Like it maybe it's the connection of like I grew up Catholic, and so like the devil and God and being possessed like that, maybe it hit me that way. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a very religious person, but maybe just because of that. But Linda Blair was fantastic. Like at the time, she was unknown really, and she didn't really go on to do anything else. But she was, for all intents and purposes, the star of the show here, and playing somebody who's possessed. And she did a great job, and it's kind of a simple story, but like really good execution, and I think it still holds up. I don't like to see it on TV because I don't want to, get some of that imagery in my head, and that when a film sticks with you like that, I think that's what makes it, really, really strong and hold up for a long time like this.
Totally. A couple of random facts for this movie, since we had just talked about The Shining. Kubrick and Jack Nicholson were actually considered for this movie.
Oh,
wow. There were 9 deaths and 1 fire involved in just the time frame of filming this movie. It had 10 Oscar nods. Father Merrin, who was played by Max von Sydow, he was only 44 at the time. He had to be in 3 hours worth of makeup in order to achieve like his age. Yeah. And when they were in the bedroom, they were actually kept in like a negative 30 to 40 degree temperature to get like that
foggy breath.
Coming out from the actors. So some craziness there. I can't believe there's 9 deaths involved in making of that movie.
Yeah, I mean, at what point do you not stop?
Yeah,
you get to like 3 or 4 and you're like, okay, this shit's not right. Like someone's not happy.
Yeah, God.
God is pissed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool techniques in there too. I think I mentioned it, like the subliminal imagery of the face or the demon face. I think there's one prominent scene where I forget what Father Cassis, I think was his name. Karras, where he's having that weird hallucination of his mom, like at the top of a subway, and then just kind of flashes. You see that quick image of, I guess, the devil or whatever the demon was. But yeah, I think that happened a couple times. I'm not sure. That's kind of where I want to sort of rewatch it again just to see what other little subliminal things are in there. Because I feel like there's maybe a couple other moments where I'm like, I feel like I saw something there, and that's creepy too. That I can think like that. I'm like, it's like what else is hiding in this movie? And like considering you hear all these stories of like the playing behind the scenes and all that. So
there's
freaky.
Actually 2 sequels to The Exorcist, if you didn't know, which Linda Blair's, I believe, in both of them.
How is she?
It's kind of her later on in life, but it goes a little bit more into the demon. His name's Pazuzu, which was never mentioned in the first film, but it's not the devil. It was actually some demon. That's why, like, kind of they had the whole introduction scene in Saudi Arabia. That's kind of where the demon's supposed to be from. It goes a little bit further into that in the sequel.
Yeah, see, I kind of wish it would have been clearer with that in the beginning, because it obviously made allusions to the fact that Father Merrin and the Pazuzu,
Pazuzu had dealings beforehand.
Yeah, they met, or they kind of dealt with each other at some point in their history. So I kind of wish it was a little bit more clear on that, or maybe we kind of got to know a little bit more about him, because obviously if they're calling this guy in, he's had experience, he's seen some shit. So I kind of want to know what that was, but apparently we saw that in the other movies. So
but I liked it. I enjoy it still to this day. It's worth watching again. I think I give it about an 8 out of 10. What'd you think, score wise?
I'd probably give it 8.5.
I would give it an 8. Yeah, it's good. Like I said, I feel like it's just like I've seen so many movies, I guess, in this genre at this point that like it didn't blow me away, but I guess I can see. Like I said, I can see where it built its legacy. Yeah. So I kind of wish I was exposed to it at a younger age. As crazy as that can sound, I guess. Sure. But yeah, it's still really, really good stuff.
Hear that, folks? Take your kids to see scary movies when they're young.
It's approved. Yes.
It'll leave an impression on them later
Sure
in
will.
life.
Tell them
Yeah, it turned
nightmares
out
for
all right.
life.
All right, guys, let's move on to our Halloween bracket.
Oh yeah.
Felix, you kind of found this online, and it was a bracket of all like kind of Halloween scary movies, and we decided we were just gonna go through it here live on the show.
You can determine what the greatest Halloween movie of all time is,
Yes.
according to Nofa.
Now we did modify the list a little bit. Took out
Craft wasn't scary.
Yeah, some movies that we didn't think were necessarily Halloween movies or whatever.
Shaun of the Dead is a comedy.
Some movies that none of us had heard of or seen.
Yes, exactly. So it's basically broken down in little four corners here. It's creatures, slashers, zombies, and paranormal movies. And we'll post this picture up before the show is aired, so you guys have a copy of this bracket so you can go through it as well. So we'll just kind of go through it. We'll try to do a majority rules voting, and we'll see where we end up. Sound
Love
good,
it.
fellas?
Let's do it.
All right, so let's start with the creatures corner. In this corner, we'll start with Jaws versus Alien.
Ooh.
Ooh, this is a good one to start.
I'm going Alien.
Man, I'm going Alien too. I really like Jaws, but Alien's fucking phenomenal.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jaws did really scare the crap out of me when I was a kid. I was afraid to go in the water for a long time, like Sam.
Right.
Sam still is.
Yeah, Alien. No, that really is a horror movie, straight up. I mean, like,
super dark
Yeah,
and
dude.
gritty, and you don't see the alien until the very end.
oh, dude, that scene where the guy's in the tunnel and then like the bleep is just like kind of catching up to him as they're all watching on the monitor,
Right.
and that's like the first time you see it. Like, that's still so creepy. It's so good. Yes,
Mhm.
The motion detective is
Alien wins.
All right, so Alien. Moving on. We got Birds versus Nosferatu. All right, so I gotta say these ones are pretty old.
Yeah, very.
I guess I would vote.
Yeah, vampires are evil birds.
I'm gonna go with Nosferatu on this one.
Ooh, okay. See, I haven't really
We didn't mention that one on our vampires list, by the way.
Yeah, the OG vampire. I haven't seen the birds in so long now. I'm trying to remember why they were crazy. Were they just literally just crazy birds?
Basically.
Yeah. That's the
Okay.
long and short of it.
Well, I'm gonna go with Nosferatu because
Oh.
it's a fucking vampire.
Heartbreaking.
All right.
It's Hitchcock, I know, but birds. Come on.
All right, next on we
Fair
got the Descent and The Thing.
Ooh,
Oh, this is
Actually-
hard for me.
This is a tough one. I actually really liked The Descent,
that was good.
but I think I'm gonna go with The Thing on the psychological version.
I'm going with Descent. I think Thing is falls victim to being dated.
I can see that.
I feel like, yeah, I'm gonna go with the Descent also because that one really tapped into, like, I'm not claustrophobic, I wouldn't say, but like the idea of being paralyzed and stuck in between
Yeah.
rocks and caves in the
Yeah.
dark. No,
Creepy.
No,
Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
terrifying.
I agree. All right, so next we got It and The Fly. This is a good one.
Okay, so which fly?
So the new version of It, right?
Okay.
Correct.
And the Fly with Jeff Goldblum.
The Goldblum version. I'll speak first. It.
I'm gonna go with The Fly. on this
Oh.
one.
Really?
Don't let me
I don't
down.
know. I
Felix.
just have a soft spot for that movie.
See, the thing that scared me most about that movie was that nightmare that the girl has where she has the burst the larva.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Ugh.
that
Yeah.
was just like a disturbing image to me. But
Come on, him peeling his fingernails
Ah.
off. Ugh.
you know, I'm sorry. Yeah, I gotta go with the Fly. Just
Wow.
mostly for the
Okay.
body mutilation.
Yeah.
The arm wrestling scene too. I remember
that's-
that freaked
oh,
me out.
God.
So,
It's,
and
it's-
just-
yeah, it's another one that's just sickening.
It's got really great makeup in that movie.
It's something about the raw effects that make it so
Mhm.
real, and
your
I-
body breaking down on you like that.
yeah,
that
it's
freaks
just
me
a
out.
gross, uncomfortable movie to sit through. You know, it was good, but to me, I still stand by my review on that is like it's a good movie. I was just let down that I wasn't terrified by it. I guess so. Like I enjoyed it, but I was let down at the same time in a weird way.
See, I must
That's
be
not
drawing
sick.
back on my childhood because I almost got sick in the new version of it because I was so terrified.
Wow, wow,
Like I was
Hey,
sweating.
The shock of the kid getting his arm bitten off right at the beginning. I was like, holy
that was
shit.
crazy.
It was a good one, but we're going with The Fly on that one. All right. Do you want to finish off this one or you want to keep going?
Let's keep going down.
All right,
Yeah,
let's keep
do
going
the
down.
whole
All right,
thing.
so we're going into zombies here. So we got Night of the Living Dead versus Dead Snow, which, if you don't know, Dead Snow was the one with the Nazi zombies.
I didn't see it. I don't know anything about this one.
It's entertaining, but I think you can't I mean, we're talking Night of the Living Dead, like Romero.
Right,
Like
that's
that's
like-
it's
that's OG.
just- yeah, it's just too classic to be beaten by a Nazi zombie movie.
I agree. I'm going with Night of the Living Dead.
Well, majority rules, but yeah, I would have said OG.
Yeah.
OG wins. As
Okay.
much as I love to see dead Nazis, I mean,
Right. Like, it was entertaining, but
Which it's good. It's
not
entertaining.
yeah, totally. All right, so we got 28 Days Later and World War Z.
28 Days Later.
Yeah,
I think no question.
World War Z is not a horror movie.
But it's a zombie movie.
but there's zombies.
Yeah.
But 28 Days Later, I mean, that's a zombie and a horror movie. That's freaky.
That's a
And
great score too.
It's so well done.
I need to watch that one again, to be honest.
Yeah, that was a good one.
28 Days Later. Moving on, we got Dawn of the Dead and Resident Evil.
We're talking Dawn of the Dead,
Dawn
the
of the
Snyder
Dead.
version.
Right, the newer version.
Dawn of the Dead.
Totally.
I really like Dawn of the Dead.
I'm surprised we kept Resident Evil on the list. That's a bad sci-fi movie. It's a guilty pleasure in my heart, but it's
That's true.
True. But there's not a whole lot of zombie movies that are.
At least
know.
quality
Shaun of the
ones.
Dead was on the list, okay?
Yeah, but I mean, come on. All right,
right,
I'm not
so
gonna-
anyway-
that's a different
Anyway,
argument.
Dawn of the Dead. So the next one we have Reanimator and Evil Dead, the remake.
Oh, the remake. Okay.
Is it the remake?
Oh, we're
did
doing
we-
the remake? Okay.
Which one did we decide?
I feel like the OG Evil Dead is more hand in hand with Reanimator.
Totally.
I actually haven't seen Reanimator, though I have a copy on me right now. I did start reading the story it's based off by H.P. Lovecraft.
Oh, yeah.
And it basically seems like the original mad scientist kind of zombie story. So I feel like I can't judge it fairly. So
Yeah, I actually haven't seen that one either.
I guess just by default, because I've only seen it, Evil Dead.
Evil Dead. I guess I'll go with Evil Dead as well.
Yeah, I'll just default to Evil Dead as well, even though I didn't see the new version. So
Okay.
I heard it was scary though.
Yeah.
Oh, if we're going for the new one, then
Yeah, let's-
hands down, then Evil Dead. I loved it. I thought the new one was cool.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so moving on to slashers, we got Halloween versus Friday the 13th.
These are all OGs, right?
Yes, OGs.
Okay.
Ooh.
So original Friday the 13th
Yeah.
without Jason. So I'm going Halloween. Because, I
Okay.
mean, I know the twist is Mrs. Voorhees. Spoiler. You've had a lot of time. But to me, the original Friday the 13th is more like what the parody is based off of, like just a bunch of dumb kids are having sex and they're getting killed off. Where the original Halloween built a sense of terror, like it's the boogeyman, he's coming after
Totally.
you and nothing's gonna stop him, no matter how fast he power walks.
I agree.
And so, like,
no matter how many times you shoot him or run away, or he's still waiting for you around the next corner.
yeah, that's
So.
to me like there's a supernatural element about it that was just so subtle enough that he made him creepy. He was the boogeyman when I was a kid, so like
I agree.
that's terrifying. So yeah, Halloween.
Totally.
Kanye, Halloween.
Yep.
We all agree on that one. All right, next we have Child's Play and Candyman. Ooh.
Chucky.
Chucky.
Yeah, dude, I was a huge baby when I was a kid, and dolls scared the crap out of me. And
Right.
Child's Play.
Freaking dolls.
You
man.
could probably ask my parents right now. I haven't talked to them about it in years, but I'm pretty sure I bugged them so many nights after nights about being terrified of Chucky coming after me.
Yep.
Like that doll just scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. There's nothing scarier than Chucky. So
Yeah. The first one for sure is pretty terrifying. They get less terrifying from there, but
yeah, they're comedies.
the first one for sure. All right, next up we got Nightmare on Elm Street and Saw.
Oh,
Much as I love Saw, you can't beat Freddy. At least again, the first one, they get campier as it goes on, but that first one is pretty terrifying.
I'm gonna edge this one out and go Saw.
Oh.
I actually really like the first one. I don't know. That's a close call though.
actually, I really do love the original Saw. It's horrible acting, but that original concept, I still think it has one of the best endings in any horror movie like ever. Honestly, I feel like that twist is fantastic. But yeah, the Friday the 13th, that really tapped into some terror when I was a kid. Though the idea that you can't go to sleep, like that's horrifying, dude. And Freddy, like, yeah, they're super campy and like cartoony as they go on, but like Freddy was just like the scariest thing, dude. Like he's maniacal. He's just a terrifying, disfigured character, and he's haunting you in your dreams. And he's scared the crap out of me. The shot of Johnny Depp getting pulled into the bed, like
To this
like,
day,
that
have
terrified
the
me when I
blood
was
coming
younger.
up.
Yeah, he had so much blood. It was crazy.
Yeah,
I'm
pretty
going
much
Night-
the original
yeah.
Boogeyman for me too.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's pretty. All right, so moving on with that one, we'll go Hellraiser and Texas Chainsaw.
Ugh,
Hmm.
both gross.
Chainsaw.
It's kind of an edgy one here too. I think I'm gonna go with Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Chainsaw too.
Yeah,
I feel like I saw the original Hellraiser not that long ago, and it was just more. It was just weirder
like
than I remembered.
more of a sci-fi B movie.
Yeah, it really was. It wasn't until like the very end. Like this, I forget what they're called. Is it Xenobites or?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't really do anything. They're just kind of there looking weird. I don't know. It's just more. It's just a gross movie. It's weird.
All right,
Texas Chainsaw. Hillbillies are freaky.
All right, so moving on into the paranormal category, we have Poltergeist versus The Conjuring.
No, Poltergeist.
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 Conjurings are
agree.
boring. Fight me, I don't care. Those movies are boring as shit. Tried sitting through them like multiple times and
I can't do it.
never done anything for me.
All right, we got The Ring and Insidious. Ooh.
The Ring.
I'm gonna go Insidious actually.
Mm.
I
Isn't that one of the Conjuring movies?
Well, but I don't know. This one to me, I think it did a little bit better. It had that weird astral projection kind of paranormal kind of vibe to it, where like you really tapped into that sixth sense kind of thing. And I don't know. I'm more drawn to that kind of element of terror. And I don't know. I thought the weird Darth Maul looking thing, devil kind of demon, was pretty freaky looking.
I didn't see this one, so I'm gonna have to go with The Ring on this one.
Okay,
So.
that's fine. You can have it.
And all right, so moving on, we got The Exorcist and The Omen. Ooh. I'm gonna have to go
Good
with The
old
Exorcist.
Damien.
We just talked about this one.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I mean, majority rules, but The Exorcist is fresh in my mind, so yeah,
Right. Yeah.
going with that.
All right, lastly, we have Amityville Horror and The Shining.
We're talking the OG Amityville, right?
Yes, the OG. I'm gonna go with The Shining on this one. We just
I'm
talked
gonna go with
about
Amityville.
Really?
Damn it. Both of these have like really like terrifying moments of me being a child. Dude, that shot, I don't mean to go into every movie in detail, but like, dude, that shot where she looks out the window and those two eyes are staring back in Amityville. That's one of the most horrifying images I've ever seen as a kid. I'm gonna have to go Amityville, honestly.
Very good. All right, so we've moved on to the second level.
Round
So
two.
back to the creatures section. We have Alien versus Nosferatu.
Alien.
Same.
Easy win for Alien. Nosferatu's classic, but Alien still gets it.
This is really old.
All right, then we have The Descent and The Fly.
I gotta go with The Descent.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think as a film, The Descent is more enjoyable. It has, I don't know, it's a better horror movie.
Film.
The Fly is just gross, I think. It's more disturbing in that sense.
I think you're right on this one. This matchup specifically, I think just The Descent edges it out here. All right. Let's just finish this one off. We got Alien versus The Descent. I think this one's pretty clear for me. Alien.
Yeah,
all the way.
that's pretty clear for
yeah.
me too.
I'm going to go Alien.
All right, Alien, our winner in the creature section.
Our scariest creature.
Yeah. All right, moving on to zombies. We have Night of the Living Dead versus 28 Days Later. Ooh, the classic versus the new school.
I gotta stick with 28 Days
I think
Later.
so too. I really like 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
Just got that creepy vibe.
That wins, but yeah, it's kind of what I was leaning towards too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I think it's one of the better zombie movies in the past decade.
I agree.
Or whenever it came out.
Totally. We got Dawn of the Dead versus Evil Dead.
Okay, so these are the newer ones, right? Dawn of the Dead
The
and
newer
Evil Dead.
ones, right?
Correct.
Ooh,
I really like the Snyder version of Dawn of the Dead.
I
man.
do, too.
It's like one of
Yeah.
the better zombie movies, like in the last.
it's still
in
great.
my lifetime. You know.
yeah. I feel like it's still one of those I can still put on at any time and be like, let's just watch it.
Totally.
Yeah, I think Dawn of the Dead.
All right, here's the big one: 28 Days Later or Dawn of the Dead.
Fuck, that's tough.
That's a tough one.
That's a hard one.
That's a tough one.
Oh.
I think I gotta.
Two good directors, two good films,
Fantastic movies.
I think I'm gonna go Dawn just simply for the fact that it's just a fun movie. Like it's not just like it's not really a scary movie, I guess, but like it's a good zombie movie. And it's just a fun, good movie, good cast, and like I said, it's just one of those you can put on any time of year. Like 28 Days Later, it's great, but you kind of gotta sit and be ready for that movie. It's a little bit more intense.
Yeah, you're right on that. I think it might have swayed me there, Felix.
Oh, really?
28 Days Later is a really great film, but you have to be in the mood for it.
Yeah.
It's dark.
It's kind of a slower burn, too.
Dawn of the Dead, you're right. I could put that on at any time. That's just a good movie.
Yeah, it's just fun.
What do you think, Gagne?
Yeah, hands down, Dawn of the Dead. I mean, they're both just really good, but yeah, Dawn's one of those I'll put on, if not just for that payoff at the end. Such a good end credit scene, like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When they get to the island and you think everything's
Right.
good and it's happy ending. Oh, just.
I mean, dude, how many movies like open with Johnny Cash for the opening credits and then end with what was it, Disturbed at the end?
Yeah.
So come on, it's great opening and end.
Yeah, that's good times. All right, so Dawn of the Dead, our best zombie movie. We'll move up to slashers here. We got Halloween versus Child's Play. Ooh.
I'm going Halloween.
Michael Myers versus the doll.
Yeah, Halloween, man. Still one of my favorites.
Child's Play scared me, but yeah, I mean, Halloween's the better movie. It's just the music, the boogeyman,
You're right. The piano music is just synonymous with Halloween creepy music now. And Halloween.
I still get creeped out by hearing that music. I don't know what it is.
Totally. We got Nightmare on Elm Street and Texas Chainsaw.
I'm going to surprise even myself here and choose Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Something about that.
Wow.
Something about it, just the fact that like there was, the whole, it was kind of true, or there was something that like about this that happened when this came out. I mean, I don't know the whole details, but it was just sickening and weird and makes you scared to be broken down, on the side of the road somewhere.
Totally. The hills have eyes. That type of thing.
I feel you on every one of those points, but I still got to go with Nightmare on Elm Street. Just because, I don't know, like to me, that was more terrifying growing up. The supernatural element, stuff that was completely out of your hands. Like real stuff is scary. Yeah, don't get me wrong. But like, I don't know, the fact that this guy could get you even in your safest
while you're
places.
sleeping.
Yeah, like that's scary.
The one place you're supposed to be able to escape, in
Yeah.
your own mind, right?
Yeah, dude. And if you ever have sleep paralysis, that's some scary shit too. So the idea that Freddy's controlling that, no way.
All right. I agree with you, Felix. Nightmare wins. Ooh. So then it comes down to Halloween versus Nightmare. Freddy versus... not Freddy versus Jason. That's funny. But Michael Myers versus Freddy.
You're the big slow lumbering guy.
Gotta go Halloween.
I'm still
I gotta go Halloween
yeah.
on this one too, yeah.
Yeah. It's just a great movie, man.
It is really good.
It's a classic, dude.
Yeah. Halloween with the win. All right, so then we're moving on to paranormal. We got Poltergeist versus The Ring.
I gotta go Poltergeist.
Same.
Yeah.
As much as I love The Ring, I mean I love The Ring, but Poltergeist, something about the house
Coming
being
into the
haunted,
TV.
and they got the clown and the TV and
the static TV,
the old man, and there's
it's creepy.
Didn't they actually film that like an ancient or an Indian burial ground? Like those are
They
actual
did,
skeletons in the pool scene. Yeah, dude.
Goddamn Indian burial grounds, man.
Dude,
and that was another one that was really like just a ton of like things happening on set where people were getting injured and weird shit was happening and shut down production. It's been a while since I've read like the details on it, but it was just another one of those where making a creepy ass movie about haunted burial grounds and then weird stuff's happening, not coincidental.
All right, lastly we have The Exorcist and Amityville Horror.
Yeah.
So solely for the sake of not having two houses against each other, I'm going to go Exorcist.
That's true. I'm going to go Exorcist as well.
Yeah, it's still fresh in my mind. I think that's why I chose Amityville over Shining, because when I watched it again, Shining, like it wasn't as scary as I remembered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's kind of like one of those things like you're dreading it more as you're like, oh, this is what I remember, but then you see, I'm like, oh, that wasn't that bad.
Right.
So
You're like waiting for the scary moments.
probably because I haven't seen Amityville since, that it's still scary to me. So I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be as scary if I were to watch it again right now.
All right, so lastly in paranormals, we got Poltergeist versus The Exorcist.
I'm still gonna go Poltergeist, I think.
Same. Messed me up as a kid. Still don't really like to watch it.
It was pretty creepy for me as well, getting sucked into the TV.
Yeah, there's like more iconic moments in that. Guy in the restaurant peeling his face off. I mean, yeah, stupid clown.
All right, so we got the final four here. We got Alien versus Dawn of the Dead.
Ooh. Ugh, I don't like that.
Yeah, when you get down to the final four, you're like, well, I like all of these movies.
I really like Dawn of the Dead, but Alien is more of a horror movie. That classic, just wait for that last possible minute to reveal. I just love Alien. I'm gonna go with Alien.
If we're going for pure horror, then yeah, I gotta go Alien. I mean, didn't we bring that back to the theater? I think we had an anniversary edition where it came back for like a week.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing snippets of it. I'm like, yeah, dude, it still holds up.
And that
man.
movie, I could watch that movie anytime.
Well, and even the director's cut that we brought back was good. Like what they cut out was good. It just it's got that Hitchcock feel of like you don't really see what's happening until it's too late. It's the end of the movie. It's everyone's died, and the thing is just on top of them. And it's such a beautiful build to seeing the alien that it's kind of hard to go against it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think it wins.
Yep. That's 3 votes Alien. All right. Last on the other side, we have Halloween versus Poltergeist.
I still gotta go Halloween. Honestly.
Same.
It's like you tell me what movie you want to watch on Halloween. Fucking let's watch Halloween.
Yeah.
It's like I said, it's the OG boogeyman's tale.
I really like the Rob Zombie version too.
You like it?
Very, very freaky, a little more bloody.
Yeah. It's not bad, but what I like about it is also what I don't like what it did to the lore. It's like I like that we kind of got an understanding of what Michael Myers was, but then that kind of also took away that
little supernatural
the little
vibe.
supernatural boogeyman kind of vibe from him. Like now he's just a serial killer like every other
big strong
murderer.
guy, right?
Yeah, now he's just he's Tyler Mane.
Right.
Where before he was literally he's the boogeyman. There's nothing stopping. He's the embodiment of evil.
Yeah,
and that's what scared me about him when I was a kid. So
it just every time you look out the window, he's watching you.
Yeah,
or,
just in totally taking his time.
Yeah.
That's what freaks me out. Like evil calmly just taking its time to come get you. It's kind of like what makes me like things like It Follows. Like it's something, it's an unstoppable force in nature that, no matter what, you're not going to get away from it. So.
All right, boys. The finals. We have Alien versus Halloween.
Hey, did you get to chime in on that at all? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I agreed completely. So I think that was unanimous for us.
Agreed.
Okay. So
Alien and Halloween. That's our bracket winner here for scariest Halloween movie.
God, this hurts me inside.
Yeah.
I love both of these movies so much.
It's like we're wording it differently every time. Like, what's scarier? Like scariest Halloween movie, or just best horror movie?
Best in this bracket.
So, Alien is. God, it's weird because Alien's probably the better movie, just as a whole. But how do you go against Halloween, man? For all the stuff that Felix just said, the boogeyman, the mask that has no expression, he can't be stopped. It's as a kid, your favorite time of year. You're getting candy and getting to play dress up, and here's this guy ruining that. It's just, fuck, man.
True. The lore behind Michael Myers might win the battle, but the movie itself, Alien, is fantastic. I'm still going with Alien as the best monster reveal at the end.
Oh, is that 1-1? Am I the tiebreaker?
You're the tiebreaker.
You're the tiebreaker.
Oh shit. That's hard. I mean, like you said, Alien is just such a great movie all around. The build up, the suspense to it. It kind of has that Jaws effect where you don't really see it for a long time, and even at the end when she finally escapes and she's still not safe, and then you see the alien still there. It's something you can't escape. But again, Halloween, the way it ends, if it just ended right there, I'm not see, this is where I kind of I'm jumbling over myself because if every other movie didn't exist afterwards, it's a perfect ending. He's gone, he's still out there. But then we had 20 other movies coming in. He's still coming back. He's still coming back. So yeah, but you can say the same thing about Alien.
That's true.
I think I'm gonna go Halloween. I mean, it's the month. I mean, it's perfect. It has the perfect vibe for it. It's taking place on Halloween night. It's the original boogeyman serial killer slasher film, and it does it perfectly well.
Whether or not best slashers.
Yeah, but whether or not it holds up, on a technical standpoint, it's a different argument. But you can't deny where it started. What it started. As far as the horror genre did.
I think, like we said earlier, that piano at the beginning. It's just I mean, bone chilling at this point. Every time I hear that, so
It's one of the first things I learned how to play on piano.
Really?
Yeah,
Just
I had
to creep
learn how to
yourself
play it.
out.
Yeah, I was weird like that. Like I just wanted to learn how to play it. That and John Lennon's Imagine. And a weird repertoire of music.
Nice. So Halloween, our bracket winner for
according to Nofa.
best Halloween movie. Yeah,
We're
we'll put
a
up the
bunch of
bracket.
Basic bitches.
I know, right?
Choosing Halloween.
We're so original.
Who saw that coming? Anybody? All right, guys. We'll put up that bracket for you so you guys can run through it. Tell us what we missed, what we screwed up.
I know how badly we screwed up.
Yeah, right. Really enjoyed doing that. Would you guys got anything for the close here, guys?
No, that was fun. Get better, Sam. We miss you.
Yep.
Somebody find our crew. Bring them back to us.
Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, the Three Musketeers.
Totally. Catch you guys next week, episode 41.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, y'all.
Good night.